What it do, baby? Welcome to Vegeta Saiyan Army. Thank you guys for liking, watching, and subscribing. Are you guys? Can y'all hear me on the side?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Fuck. Shut up! Shut up! Alright, so today, last time I tried this video a second ago, I was screaming so loud I blew the mic. I blew the mic because they were talking. That's why I'm screaming at them. So check me out. Before I even start the video, I'm going to say one thing to y'all watching. If you're just going to watch the beginning, just watch this little part right here. I got one thing to say. We're about to let them win. And you're going to let it happen. You're going to let it happen. Because you had to complain on the main group about bullshit about banning red. And it's about to happen. And they're about to ban red shit. And it's because you're letting it happen. Yellow's going to get away with it. Blue's going to get away with it. And it's on you. You right there that's watching. Stupid. Stupid. Who's watching? Eric, Cricket. I don't care if you agree or not. Travi Bear. Who else? Who are the other trolls? Fucking.
Frank, you need to calm down.
No, shut up. The other Frank, all three of the other fucking Franks, Evan, stupid. Goku's my best friend, stupid. You're all gonna let it happen because you all get in the main group, okay? And you all complain about red. Yellow has won Nats every year. Yellow has won Nats every year. And red has finally a chance to get up there. Finally got a chance and y'all want to get a pen. And it's about to happen. And it's the yellow people and the blue people getting... By yellow people, I mean the yellow cards, not like Asians or some shit. But the yellow people and the blue people are about to get away with it. And it's your fault. So we're about to hit the Nats. And guess what? Bandai's going to listen to y'all. And they're about to ban Crown. They're about to ban all this shit. And guess what? They're going to get away with it. We had a chance. And you know who's the worst? Even worse than the yellow and the blue players? The fucking green and the black players. Because nobody's playing hating more than... Stop! Nobody playing hating more than the green players right now. Because you know what? Green ain't shit either. Green came from the bottom just like red. But green was like, yo, you're uplifting red. What about me? Wait, what about me? And you know what they're doing? They're typing hella hard because they're mad that it wasn't them. And now I'm like, bro, I agree. I feel bad for green. But like, let us rise up. Give us one Nats. Give us one Nats. Bro, these green players, bro. I'm sorry. I'm venting. All right, I'm with Alex and Chris. Alex, what are your quick thoughts? We're going to talk about the cards that might get banned and our opinions on it. But Alex, you first. Quick thoughts about the ban list coming up and what you'd like to see fixed.
I'd like to see red and a little bit of blue addressed. And yellow. Yellow can't not be addressed in some way if red and blue get addressed. Yellow needs to have some touches if red and blue get touches, or else yellow's, like you said, just probably gonna run away with Nats.
Shut up! Red shouldn't get touched. Red should be buffed. Look, here's my ban predictions. I'm just gonna tell them right now. Here's what I hope will get banned: Homicidal Clones, Charismatic Frieza, Dolan Potential. Yep, Petrification too. What's another black card? Fucking Super Kamehameha. Ban all the good black ban all the black cards and all the green cards that are good, and teach them a lesson for being player haters. Let red. We are so close. The good guys are so close to winning. The red players, we are so close. And the evil players, the yellow and blue players, they're so close to getting their ban list out and hitting us, and we're gonna lose. It's like Lord of the Rings. He's so close to getting what he wants. Frodo's so close to winning, but he's not gonna get it.
Away from him.
He's taking the ring to fucking Mordor or whatever the fuck. Chris, what are your thoughts on this bitch ass ban list? That shouldn't happen. But what are your thoughts on it?
Every time I wake up in the morning and I see the reveal, I keep hoping that they skip a reveal so we can see a ban list already.
I hope they don't make it tomorrow because I'm gonna post it tomorrow morning. You hate to see it.
Yeah, I hope we upload it in the morning, in the same morning they upload the ban list. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of same with Alex. I kind of switch around colors, but yeah, I've been playing red. Red, fun as hell, but it definitely needs some addressing after playing it for a while, especially playing Sin.
Yeah, I mean, like, I play Sin too, and like, I think that every time something like this happens, the blame isn't on making Sin too good. The blame is on, like, not making green and black, like, as good. You know what I mean? I feel like the power creep that I saw with red was appropriate. I just see that the green one wasn't, and the black one wasn't either, you know? Like, when they took out Gogeta in the ban list, like, they didn't appropriately give them a new deck to play. And that's not Red's fault. Like, Red's... I feel like...
I want...
Yeah, go ahead. What?
I want to bring up the fact... I want to bring up the fact that we're making this video about, like, green and black being underpowered, when tomorrow we could just as easily get a black deck reveal, and it could be, like, the most cracked deck of the format.
Why don't we get a black deck reveal? I mean, we saw the green deck reveals. Prison Broly looks fun, but Gogeta doesn't look...
No,
like
I'm just saying, it's... Yeah, because, like, black's in such a bad spot right now, it'd be just hilarious if they got a sin level deck, like, the next day.
I mean, that'd be fun.
I think Gogeta's a little better than people are giving it credit to, or it could be. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be great, but I think it's.
Hey bro, log on tap right now. We can stop the video right now. Going on tap.
Oh really? You guys have been testing it? I haven't been yet.
It requires too much shit to be specifically in your Z energy. You have to neg just to put stuff in your Z energy so that you can fuse from the Z energy. Why not just fuse from other
So to take away from what 1 Point Crossroad has been making, shout out to him, is that a lot of the new decks after set 1, like, they want you to just hard combo. They just straight up want you to combo 1 and, like, not gain any advantage from it except, like, some Z energy or your leader one. And the problem is that is not good. Like something like Green Gogeta, they want you to Z evolve from the Z energy, but how do you get them in there? Oh, they want you to hard combo for it. Yeah. And, like, that's not as good, because it's like, at that point you're not plussing, you're going neutral. Your leader technically gives you a +1, but it's only for 1 EX evolve, and you have to do it on the front side where you don't get the +1, you get a neutral.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of like Broly, because he gives you, like, the free Z, but at the same time, like, the Z energy or the Z cards in green aren't as great.
Or terrible, yeah. Until we see the green Z deck that we're getting this set, the deck is right now just okay.
And so, and again, back to my point about red finally almost going into Nats as the best color. It's like, give us 1 year when we're good, you know? I tell you what, King Vegeta was a little too good. I understand. That's fair. Again, King Vegeta was tier 0. I believe that deck was unbeatable. Could you build, like, a King Vegeta Buster that's like a counter deck? I mean, maybe, yeah, sure, maybe, but... Like, maybe Hatchak could have the capabilities or someone, but I feel like at the same time, that deck is bad to everything else, right? So, I don't think that any deck right now is like that. I think that a capable blue player or a capable yellow player, if we have people at locals that could pick up Trunks and, like, have a really good chance against red decks, against Sin Shenron or somebody playing, I think the yellow Piccolo coming out is really good, the orange Piccolo, not the old one. I think Trunks is really good. I think Blue does have tools too.
Apeku's been doing me good at locals.
Oh yeah, right. You've been playing Apeku as well. Yeah, that deck. Right, and it, like, you have cards that lock the energy ahead of time. You make them play a turn behind, and if you win the die roll with Apeku, you can really lock people out of the game in a way. And you have cards like, you know, what's that card called? Vegeta Unison of Fury, that after the energy lock, they can't swing with shit that's too big. So yellow has plenty of good tools. Blue as well, obviously. So I feel like all the good players, like all the best players, like I can totally see a world where I don't know, like people like Jared Lopez or people like fucking I don't know, people that are playing, what's the Android, the blue Android deck? People are just playing Gamma. Yeah, and they're just gonna laugh at red. You know, I'm not saying Gamma's better. I'm just saying that a great player is gonna have a play around it. And I feel like, give red a year. Give red a year. Is red the best color? I agree. Is it so good that nobody can beat it? I don't think so, even though it is the best deck. So I'd like to see it get a little more. I think the way yellow won Nats every other year was way more unfair. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel like they're getting away with it. And they're about to hit red. And guess what? Dude, when they do it, these yellow and blue decks that are saying like, oh yeah, we're bad, sorry, we're bad, you're too good, red, please hit red, Bandai. Bandai's gonna be like, and they're just gonna shoot red instead, and then now yellow's rampant again. You know what I mean? Like yellow Piccolo is gonna probably win. Like blue yellow, watch blue yellow wins Nats this year if red gets hit. I'll tell you right now, that orange Piccolo, probably. I don't know. But let me go into the. So while I was gone, because I've taken a bit of a break, I've been working. So let me see what you guys got here. You guys came up with the list. This is what everybody has been saying needs to be banned, and not exactly everybody in the community. I took a peep earlier, but what do you guys think about? Why did you guys put SS3 Goku in here?
This leader was put in here because we can only really fit one leader. There might have been a couple others to talk
That's
about.
funny.
This is the one that gets talked about the most by the community right now because they, the untapped 3 is a lot for a blue deck. 3 energy in a blue deck is a lot to do, and being able to combine that with Bunison, with Blitz, with the Vegito from the Z deck now, you're getting so much on your turn and just building this unbreakable board that you just kill your opponent so fast on one of their turns.
So what you're saying is that there's some really good blue strategies right now that can deal with red. Is that what you're saying? So you can do it.
Frank, if we
That's
want to
where
go
we
back,
get.
I wanted to say that I don't think that Sin and Gogeta are unbeatable, because they're not. They get 70% representation because they're, if you want me to say, they're like easy decks to pick up and play. They're not super hard to play. But the reason why they have like 70% like showings at Top Cut is because it's inflated. If other decks were good, which they're like not compared to them, if they were released other good decks, then Sin and Gogeta wouldn't be as popular as they are. This is one of the decks that's really good, but you have to be a really good pilot at this deck, or you're gonna get eaten alive by Sin early game.
But here's
So
the thing: I do. No, Chris, you're muted now. I feel like I do believe that like there's decks as good as like is Sin the best deck? Probably yes. Sin doesn't take his life down. Sin has a good Z Awaken leader. Sin has great super combos. Sin has the easiest Z energy. I get all that. It probably is the best leader at overall, right? All the stats are equally high.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's unbeatable. I don't think it's crazy that it's rampant running around. We've even seen recent tournaments where it's not even in first place. Most players are playing it because it's so appealing and easy, and I totally get that. But like, I don't know. I feel like other players can handle that shit. You know what I mean? I feel like there's definitely outs to it.
And like you said, Sin, if to my knowledge, and I might be wrong, Sin has not won an event yet, from my knowledge.
I had no idea.
I believe SS4 Gogeta has, and then Apeku won the last LATAM event that just happened, and then the rest were SS3 Goku, and then like one random ass Raditz deck over in London. But Sin hasn't won an event yet, from my understanding.
But I'm fine with having a national event where we have red decks, blue decks, yellow decks, because I do think that Trunks and Apeku are really good. I do think those that's not a secret. I'm not like
Apeku are both really good.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking prophet saying that.
The only reason this leader's on here is because a lot of people are complaining, that it's a bit ridiculous with this leader plus Bunison untapping 4 at the end of your turn, or this leader Bunison and Blitz untapping 5 at the end of your turn. That is quite a bit, That's a lot to do when you're playing triple strikers and shit like that.
I don't think anybody here wants SS3 banned, but I like that you put it here because it reminds me that blue does have tools against red. So here, let me get out this joint and get into some of it, because we gotta blow through these a little faster. All right, the first card here is Son Goku Absolute Annihilation at 1. Or what do you guys hear that it needs to get better? I don't know. I understand that it's a card that requires very little. I don't think people like cards that are generic, require almost no talent, or you just play this and it's over, right? It's Deflect Barrier, and you just play it and it's a wrap, right, for blue. But now, there is barrier removal in blue, first of all. Blue has, you can, I think, Ape, does Kale remove Ignoring Barrier? Yeah. I don't know. I feel like
you're talking about blue, but the thing is with this card is that it doesn't just have to be for blue, because red has a lot of free negates, and this card pretty much stops all form of free negates, because it literally tells your opponent they have to tap 1. You were leaving a Wolf Fang or a Testing in your hand, not anymore. Now you're dead. You have no answers anymore.
This one also this card also does certain things, because a lot of players nowadays are playing certain decks where they only need to leave 1 energy up for a negate. Kavir's one of the people that talk about you only need 1 energy for defense in most decks, but playing a card like this in yellow tells your opponent, well, now you need 2.
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
you can't just
if this card gets banned, I really won't care. I think yellow isn't going to take much of a hit if this card gets banned.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
And we think the same thing.
I think this card gives trouble to, I don't know. I think good players will side around this card, especially in red, if you're talking about red. But, okay. I mean,
this was brought up just because people were discussing how he really hurts the new Broly deck coming out, like Broly Prison, the green one.
oh, Broly,
Because
okay.
it turns all their
Doesn't he
turns all their
kill
stuff
or-
into.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, this card. I don't think this one needs hit now, but I wouldn't care about it if it gets hit.
All right. What do we have?
Me personally, I'd like to see it.
I love Cooler. I'm okay with yellow having Cooler. Again, I think every other color needs a card like. I like interaction. I like counterplays.
Guys, I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Oh, hi, Kavir. What's up? Oh, yeah.
No,
I'll tell him.
no.
Yeah. So there's a lot of so the thing with Cooler is that we have now like dude, yellow got Mira Oolong with like Champa, like pretty much a combo.
Oh, on Piccolo.
Yeah, and Gompa, a combo that forces your whole hand out, or you hold the L. Because the thing about that combo is that you cannot counter it, because they're just gonna go cooler, counter, and then the cooler was gonna draw you 2 cards. This card is ridiculous in yellow because it gives yellow the late game because you can't play defense against yellow because they're just gonna go counter, and they're gonna draw 2 after they're done.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. That's in my current deck right now, bro. That's literally.
Okay,
my
okay. So you're biased. Got it.
No,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, no, it's fair, but I like the idea of having a good counter in the game. Also, this was like, I understand how powerful Cooler is. I mean, I can see it. I don't think it should get banned. I mean, I don't know. I think a counter is a cool thing. I think every color should have it. I think instead of banning it, they should just give blue, red, and fucking.
Don't even think about Alex saying limit to 1 because we already have to talk about the amount of 1-ups that yellow has, and now you want to add another card to that list.
Yeah, I
It's
play this
Would
card.
you rather your opponent have only 1 cooler, or would you rather them have? Because a lot of
How
people.
about 0? How about 0?
No, I run 2. All right, next, Lord Slug. Hey, is there a lot of interaction between this Slug and the new leader coming out? Because he's not a 1K combo or anything. So.
No, because the new leader, the 8-drop that the new leader has, the 8-drop Slug, he cheats out 2 3-drop or less Slug's armies that aren't Lord Slug.
Yeah, so the new
cheat
deck,
this one out.
so the new Slug army can't cheat it, but the thing is that it becomes a searchable engine. Now, we're not saying this card should get banned. It's more of a, like, this is a card that's brought up in a lot of discussions about, like, should it get banned? It ruins a lot of strategies. I don't like the card. I feel like in this set, we've really gotten a lot of answers to Super Namekian. So it's not, like, as much of a problem. It's still one of the most annoying yellow cards.
You know what I think
a lot of
about these cards is that, like, Annihilation and Lord Slug, I think I'm okay with cards being that powerful, but if they're not generic. Like, if this was only for a Slug leader, or if Annihilation was only for an SS4 yellow leader, I think I'd be more okay with
You
it.
are 1,000,000%
Yeah.
correct. If
I mean,
Slug
we had
was...
a discussion in the last
Yeah,
ban list.
if Annihilation was for Halku only, and Slug was for Slug Army, those cards would be balanced. Hell, they
Yeah.
could be better if it's just for those decks, in my opinion.
What I'm
'Cause
afraid
it's leader
of
lock.
is that I want a card like Slug to exist. I want a card like Annihilation to exist. I think I'm okay with them replacing them. Like, if that new 8-drop Slug had this, like, permanent on it, that'd be sweet. If a finisher had Deflect Barrier, but it's like a swap 5 or whatever, or something like that, I'd be way more okay with it. You know what I mean? But yeah, it being generic, I'm okay. But I'm afraid that, like, if they ban it, then they don't make another card like this. I like a card like this. I like this card in yellow. Same with Annihilation.
and
You are right, but
agree when it comes to making cards like for every deck or making them limited to decks. So like Bandai did it with one of the TPs that set the Xeno Goku for the Kai of Time deck. How they gave them basically a cooler for the deck.
Yes.
You know, so
Agreed. That is
giving-
cool. Yeah. That's like one of the only black decks now with, and I agree. That is sick.
I
don't
think
know.
that should be the future design of like how they do those type of like really insane cards. Like just archetype block them, make them more balanced.
Oh my
Like,
god.
'cause-
I'm looking at the next cards, and you have Power of a Super Saiyan Broly Crown. All right, so Power of a Super Saiyan's at one.
You're going ahead. You're going ahead.
So for Pot, we don't want it to get touched, but It was a discussion that Chris brought up, that some people were discussing that
I
maybe
saw. Yeah, I saw discussion about like a lot of people talking about there's this a lot of the best limited to one cards like New Ruler and Pause, like how the colors don't like have them and they become they're such powerful options that just the one of is harder to play around, because when Pause was at 3 it was oppressive, but now that it's at 1 it's harder to deal with because you have to worry about the one of Pause. Now I personally don't think it needs to be touched. I don't like Pause, but I don't have a hard time playing around it.
I don't know.
Like,
I feel like it's getting to the point where like we have this evidence that yellow has a history of being broken, and it has all of these one-ofs, and red doesn't have that because red's always been fair up until recently, and now you guys are gonna want to get Broly Crown banned or limited, and I'm just like, dog, like, just give us one Nats, just give us one tournament. Red can for the first time go into a national tournament.
You saw the next card.
Yeah, I'm talking about Crown. I'm sorry, I can't even talk about Pause because it's such a that's something again.
Like, Pause doesn't need touch in my opinion.
Yeah, but like we're about to go to the first Nats ever where it's fair. Red is the best color, but it can get beaten, and it's about to take a hit, and I'm so buttered about that.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you can skip 10 minutes ahead in the video. We'll still be talking about Crown later then, but maybe it's over by then.
I guess. I don't know.
How about you stay for 5 minutes to tell us why you think Crown should stay in the game? Or untouched?
I don't need 5 minutes. I think that once, like, we need cards like Crown. It was made to stop cards like Topo Righteous 8. Like, it was made for that card, and it was made for Vegeta. What was the fucking card? Vegeta Exploiting Weakness? Cards like that are cards that are very defensive, and they slow the game down a lot. So they made a card like Crown, so you could at least stop that. And once you take a card like Crown away, then blue and yellow just become way more explosive. Decks that require defensive energies become wild. And Crown is a card that mitigates that. And I know that the existence of that 2-drop Unison make this card broken. I understand where that's coming from. But I don't think that it's broken enough that it's showing a turnout of tournaments where it's nothing but red. But now, if you're new and you haven't been playing this game for more than 2 sets, either you're screaming into your laptops right now or your phones or whatever, talking about, oh yeah, but it's been a lot of reds in my local, a lot of red in tournaments. I'm like, bro, I lived in a time where Mecha was the only fucking deck being played at an event, or only Shenron, or only Yellow Broly. Like, I've seen real oppression. I've seen some real shit. This ain't it. Red's getting bodied. There's good people playing blue decks, good people playing yellow decks. I mean, green and black are getting shafted. I do think they need a leg up, but the answer to that isn't banning red, yellow, blue cards. So that's my 2 cents.
I agree with you to an extent, because yes, I do believe that green and black just need to get good decks. They just need to get something. Like, give them a fucking dumb deck, because at this point they can't really do much in the meta. But when it comes to Crown, it's like, maybe just errata it so it can't be played by a skill. You know, that way it can't be cheated out with the Unison.
I think that's the most fair. Like, out of all the possibilities of banning limited, is give it the ability, like the Vegeta Super Combo, the one that says can be played by any area from skills. Just give that to Broly. Because then you force your opponent to actually have to commit the energy for it, which I think is fine. They trade an energy, I trade a card, or I trade a counterplay. They don't see my hand. I think that's more fair than SS4 going Blind Window 1 and Gogeta Unison, Crown. Blind Window 1 Swing with Leader, Crown. Because that is more unreactable.
That is the degeneracy, yes. That's where it becomes an issue, because there's some times where you can't, without negging yourself infinitely, you can't afford to tap down to 1. And that's happened in plenty of cases where I've had, like, a handful of cards that, yes, maybe they were smaller cards, but why would I tap, say, 3 to play a cooler or something like that, for an example? You know, you're not going to tap for these cards. So, but now my opponent's going to have one free play if they're playing the Gogeta Unison. If they're playing the SS4 League specifically, so this kind of doesn't affect a lot of decks, just the SS4 deck, they can play this card twice for free, blind. And that's kind of the issue. That's why I'm saying, like...
Yeah, but isn't everybody... Because, hold on, because everybody's saying how bad Red Gogeta is. First of all, everybody's talking about how bad that deck is, and I think it's a good deck, but whatever. But everyone's saying it's booty. Kavir, I wish Kavir was here, because Kavir's always talking about how dog water it is. And all the people in the group are always talking about how Gogeta's overrated. So if it's overrated and it's so bad, then let it have crown, right? And it seems to me like people aren't having trouble beating it. Like, sure, it's here and there, but if anything, I see more of Sin Shenron. And like me personally, I'm not saying my deck is like perfect, but me and like Kavir also, we don't even play the fucking unisons in it. In fact, I hard tap my fucking Broly crowns because turn 2 I like playing Ice and Nova into the 20k double strike, but like, and then turn 3 I don't know, I like the Z Vegeta, but I don't know. I don't think this card's causing problems. Like, I understand playing 1-drops for free, but like, that's what the deck does, and it's not killing anybody.
I know there were other people that were discussing with stuff like when your opponent's at 3 or more energy. I think that kind of kills the card because it only affects like 1 or 2 decks at that point.
I saw this.
There was another one where it said like make it so that your opponent discards a 20k.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna bring up. Yeah, and that's so dumb because okay, cool, buddy. Like it's just terrible. It's just terrible hand control at that point.
Yeah, and it's like, I wouldn't change it to those because then the card's just gone. Like, it's not going to be good anymore.
I mean, I don't care about that. I'm okay with that. I like the hand information it gives me, not so much what I'm dropping.
Exactly. Like, that's what the good thing about the card is seeing your opponent's hand. And even if you're not taking a card out of their hand, being able to look at their hand and saying, okay, they have 3 Beerus Realms, they have this, and that, they can get to 70k. Can I get to 75k?
Yeah, and that's the thing I've always hated about Crown, because hand knowledge in this game is so crucial for a situation. And Crown, like, I get blue, but like Alex said, in some cases when you're playing yellow or green, and it's like you want to leave energy up for defense, and Crown is punishing you for trying to play defense.
All right, so here, let's go to the next fight. Oh my God, King Piccolo! If you want King Piccolo, look, Red has 1 or 2 staple. Like, I remember last set, it was Divine Presence and Broly Crown, and those are the only 2 staples. Now, to be fair, Red has gotten a few more, especially in the Z-Deck era, but there's only 1 King Piccolo New Ruler. Like, come on, bro. Like, I know green sucks, but like...
So this is falling under the same kind of argument that Broly Crown came under. I don't personally think that the card should get banned. I think it's still okay. The issue is that it's searchable with the Gogeta Unison now, is kind of the issue, because you top 3 for any
but everything's
card. That's what people have issues with. So that's kind of what people have an issue with, because it's like, oh, let me top 3. Oh, I found New Ruler. Cool, play New Ruler.
Okay, so about this, all right? If they ban this card, or if they hit Broly Crown, they're gonna have to hit, in my opinion, yellow and blue enough. Like, either...
No, we
said that. That's our argument. That's why we were talking about yellow. We're like, oh, Cooler is like a card we think should get hit. But then it's like, oh, also hit that red card and that blue, because it needs to be fair. Because
you can't just hit red, because you just hit red, then yellow wins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. But I don't want them to hit these cards, because I feel like the game is balanced enough. Like, we're never gonna have a perfectly balanced game. First of all, like, it's not. Like, I think we've come close before, but there's always... Yeah, I think this isn't like checkers. Like, even in chess, you can't even have... And they have the same amount of fucking things, but whoever goes first always has an advantage, right? So, like, it's... I don't know, man. It's hard for me to talk about this without, like, comparing it to the old days, because we're never going to have true balance. And people are always going to complain, too. There's always going to be people bitching for no reason.
Oh, no.
Because they want to bitch.
The greatest argument that Alex and I have is that people talk about how shit black and green is, but if green just got Soul Surge the sequel next set, people would be crying about green needing to get hit.
Yeah, people were crying about green. And guess what? Yeah. And we were crying about red being shitty, and then the next set, it got really good, and people were crying. It's like people have the shortest memory in this game ever. And, like, nobody wants to get good. And nobody wants to get good. Everybody wants... the Banlist to help them, and I'm like, dog, like, my goodness. So, okay, if they hit these red cards, they better know that something, because it's harder for red to bounce. It's easier for yellow and blue to bounce back. Like, I remember when yellow and blue and black were getting hit, people were like, oh, be careful. Because when you hit yellow and blue, you know, Broly swapping red is going to be crazy. And people were like, you know what? You should just ban red Broly swap in advance, because that deck's going to be crazy. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Red Broly swap didn't do shit. We haven't heard from that deck in fucking ages. Because, I don't know, it's harder for red inherently to, because inherently pound for pound, what the colors do, like blue has energy on tap and yellow has like opponent manipulation by tapping shit. Those are the two most powerful things in this game. So if you keep colors even to what they do, yellow and blue always wins. In my opinion, like green and red have to be a little bit higher than blue and yellow for that shit to be fair. Because red negging, and what does green do again? Blow up a couple things? That's not as powerful. Yeah, that is not as powerful as like untapping energy on your turn, or like disrupting your opponent on their turn. Like that's those two things are too broken. So like, I don't know. They have to really be careful bringing down the most fair color. And I'm not saying most fair color right now. I'm saying textbook in like deeply rooted what the colors mean. Red is one of the fairest colors.
Because like UI Goku, for an example, I always thought that was a more fair deck, but people were always crying for that deck to get hit. The only thing I ever saw about that deck was that the leader didn't sell for it, but...
Yeah, and that was fun. At the end of the day, it was fun. Yo, I know we're in the red section, but Alex, as we were talking about green, you should put your base to green suggestion you were talking about.
Oh god, I just saw Haze.
It was about a certain leader.
A what?
What? That they just unsell Surge?
Yeah, there it is.
I mean, yeah, because hand control is so hard now. Because they could probably bring back Cell Surge. The problem with hand control is that your opponent's hand is empty. But guess what? Now they have a whole Z deck that they can bring out cards. So they can start bringing out hand control decks. I'm okay with that. Just be careful. They can probably bring back Cell Surge, I guess.
The thing is, like, what I was saying to Chris is that the thing is, it's like, I'm sorry, Bandai, I'll say it, you don't build good green decks right now. Your green decks that you're coming out with just aren't good.
Now, again, to be fair, Bandai, one thing about Bandai is that they do probably know how powerful, like, hand control can be. But that's not an excuse, because the decks that are bad that they're building aren't supposed to be hand control. They're just bad.
Like, the thing is, you can build a green deck that's good without hand control.
Yeah,
because
no, I agree.
But they're not doing that. That's the problem.
Yeah. All right, so
Green Gotenks is a good deck that doesn't really hand control you too much.
Yeah, it's not. No one's just using it. All right, so next I have Haze, and let's talk about these red cards on because you guys probably got.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Go.
Only one more after this.
All right, so we got Haze.
So
and the Preparing to Brawl cards from SS4. Alright, so what's the beef with these cards? Go ahead.
So, with Haze, we can simply say that for Haze, giving any Shadow Giant crit for free is a bit much. And I'll say that right now. Just being able to stay on turn 2. Yeah, my 20k Double Strike, it's free crit now. That's a bit much.
Hey, you know what?
Tapping one red for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what, though?
Tapping one red for it should just be it.
Okay, but I tell you what, though. Guess what? It's fucking, what's the name? It's, it only works for that archetype. I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Is it strong? Oh, yeah.
And that is true. But here's the thing. That, it's not broken oppressive, but it's oppressive that when you look at Sin, you have to go, I'm getting double strike crit turn 2. And a lot of decks need to miss their turn 1 to either leave defense up or just hold the L. And here's the thing, we don't think it's gonna happen because the deck just came out.
You know what the thing about Hey Shenron and SS4 Son Goku Preparing to Brawl? You're never gonna have a red deck that has one Haze, one SS4 Goku. Like, these are all like archetype cards. And by the way, that's what yellow has. Yellow has to say, hey, Shenron, Gathering Evil. Yellow has SS4 Son Goku Preparing to Brawl on their deck. And they play one of because they're all generic. I'm okay that these cards are... I'm okay with the Sin Shenron deck having a crazy little card. And I'm okay with SS4 Son Goku Preparing to Brawl. If it's a little... As long as, now, every tournament isn't being won by this one deck, right? But I like archetype decks. I like... And I like that you have your own little... Now, would I prefer if yellow had, like, a Slug that only worked for Slug? And an SS4 that only worked... So it seems like red is the only color that's fucking following it by the rules. But we just got what green wants. An archetype deck that's actually good. You know what I mean? Like, It's not
Yeah,
full
I
of
agree,
this
yeah.
staples, you know, like, and this is what the game should be, is Red and Shenron, and I feel like, and Red SS4, and I just feel like the other colors should be that way, but they're not, and I'm sorry it's not that way, but this isn't crazy, you know, we're not, I don't know, nobody's playing, what's it called, the fucking Sin Shenron SR in the SS4 deck. Why? Because you can't, literally. But that's good balance in Red. Red is following. Red is playing the game.
Frank, that's actually technically incorrect because all the Shadow Dragons say if you have 6 or more Z energy.
No, I'm talking about the
Yeah,
SR, but it doesn't matter. But you know what I mean, though.
The SR, you're absolutely correct. That card is only gonna get better and better because you can also play it if you're a red Z leader.
I know that. I'm talking about SS4.
And that,
SS4 can't because he's
man, speak up. Use your mouth. But yeah,
I'm the loudest one here.
The Sin Atrop will be relevant for the future.
Yeah, like
because
we know it's
decks
gonna be played in Vegito, but like Vegito also loses to like Unison of Fury. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but it's not just Vegito. It's also the Android 13 deck, the Saiyan Squad deck, and every red deck coming out. Like the A-Drop is gonna stay relevant for
that's
the red
fine,
deck. So.
But and that's good. I don't think it's a. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't have Deflector Barrier. I think it's a fine, I guess, inherent red card. I'm okay with that card being.
Okay, well, Frank, what card are you talking about now?
I'm talking about the A-Drop Triple Striker, right? Is that what we're talking about? That comes out if you have a Z.
The Sin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has Deflect.
Does it actually? Okay, but it does have.
Yes.
Oh,
okay, that's fine. That's fine. But it does have Barrier, because I know it needs Barrier to get it from the Oceanas, and the Haze gives it critical.
Okay.
I mean,
we can go forward if you want. After this.
What?
Do you want to skip past Haze and talk about the brawls?
Yeah, let's. Again, the brawls. I mean, again, the brawls are limited to this fucking deck. I feel like.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was thinking is like they allow you to draw a lot. Maybe limit one to the auto for them to be drawing one each one, so you can't just draw. You can't like uptick on Unison, play one for free, swing with lead, play one for free, then combo them, draw 2, and then do all that stuff. But I don't think they're horrible. They're fine. They just draw a lot.
Yeah, I think they're fine. I think people are beating this deck. Red is the color that you just figure out too. So. Red is like red does the thing it does, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, and when you experiment with red, like I've been doing, like I was thinking about the blue, it's like that's when and putting obviously famously the green shit that I accidentally forgot about. My bad. But like when you do things with red, it gets cloggy. It's not like yellow. Yellow loves blue. Yellow and blue go like peanut butter and jelly. It's a little harder for fucking red to do this shit, you know? So, I don't know, man. And this card also, I love this card. This, the SS4 Gogeta. I mean, what? Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I know it's, I'll tell you what. The card is a little broken, obviously. You can only play it in SS4. People are figuring out how to play around this deck, man. I know that the cards read really powerful, and I love the deck. I'm not even playing the deck though. Like I'm still playing Sin over this deck.
So when it comes to SS4 Triumphant Together, I actually think that there's a lot of checks for this card in the game. I don't think this card needs hit. I think the only issue is that it's a 35k. Could be a 30k, that way it can't just punch all of your opponent's 35k. I don't think this card needs touch. I know a lot of people are crying about this card, but I think
it does definitely kill some decks, but the thing is those decks weren't good anyways, so like who cares?
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, they're killing me with Gogeta Triumphant Together. Oh, what deck are you playing? I'm playing Wish Goku Blue. It's like, oh, you were dying anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Exactly. Anytime people complain, ask them like, what deck were you playing? And then like, but I don't know. I feel like I do think blue and yellow have answers to this. And again, I understand if you're green or black, but it's like you're complaining at the wrong thing. You should be getting a good deck, not bringing down red, yellow, and that's a Bandai problem. That's 100% a problem, Bandai. And you know what's funny? That I can tell that they're aware of this problem, because I can see them attempting to rectify it. I can see them making green cards that they think are really good, like them making the Goku Piccolo World Martial Arts cards, them making...
yes, those are good.
I know. Yeah, right. Those are great. But they still have some limitations. What's the card? There's Universe 6 card. That deck is awful, the Beerus and the Champa. But they have some really good staples for green. that read broken on paper, but like once you play them, it's like
ones that play after combo.
yeah, I'm talking about like the hit. I'm talking about like the Vegeta and the Goku. You know.
Oh yeah, those cards are great.
And they're amazing. Like I love the hit, for example. Like that hit reads broken as fuck, right? But like you play a real game and people don't give a shit about those cards. Like good players don't give a fuck.
The thing is that like green is the most greedy color. Like green needs to do stuff for cheap and it can't. Is the issue.
I get, yeah. So, alright, what the fuck else did you guys put in here? Okay, so I have,
There's only...
So the Z cards of Omega Shenron, Merciless, Negativity, and Rush Attack, Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta. So, okay, so the Z cards, let's talk Z and Red, because Z and Red got the best treatment, right? And again, I just feel like the excitement for the Red cards should be the type of excitement that you're getting out of a set 1 of a new block. Like, green didn't get that, I don't think, to this level. Blue didn't get that to this level. I think yellow's close. I do actually really, especially Oolong. And what the fuck is the other color? I'm forgetting. Black. Oh yeah, black is like. So and now.
Kind of like a Mekikabura.
Yeah, Mekikabura. I mean, I like now. What were the other Z leaders? I really like Piccolo. That one, the orange one coming out. I actually really like Bardock. I don't. I know the starter deck Goku is one of the best decks in the game. I don't know why I'm not into that deck. I don't get it. When I play it, I just don't. I really like Bardock. Nico from Locals was playing, and I fucking really like that deck. I think that deck is powerful. Now, I think what makes this one nuts is that it plays the Sin Shenron for free, right? Is that what you guys think?
No, you're forgetting the second most important. No, you're forgetting the most nuts part about this card.
Okay.
It's free.
You can Z Awaken for
free. Oh yeah, the Z Awaken for free. You're right. Yeah.
In my opinion,
I mean it's 7 energy, which is really costly. So now we're playing with cost.
No, it's not. The Dragon Balls are to pay the cost. You need one. This is a 1 Z Energy Awaken.
You're right.
Oh, Rush Attack. No, on Rush Attacks, we're getting to that. So the biggest problem with Shenron, and you can see this in every Z leader we got in the next set, is that Shenron is free and it's 20k, but then every other Z leader that came out cost 1.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
I
personally
believe that if it's a 20k Z leader, it should cost 1. And if it's a 15k Z leader, it can be free. Because 20ks inherently put you to the point where low wide decks that play 15ks can't hit you without negging.
And the deck has a bean.
So who's writing? So here's my problem. It's like, I don't know. I wonder who the designers are then, that they're always doing this. And they were doing it too Red for a while, where like they would build yellow cards and blue cards, and the cards are completely insane, right? And then they would build a red card, and the cards are stupid. And it's like green's always been on the receiving end, just like red was for most of the time until recently. But I don't get it. Like, don't you see how different it is when you build it? Just like you guys said. Yeah, like, how would you make this one free? Like I understand what Alex is. I agree with what you're saying. Like, if the free ones are 15k, and the ones that cost 1 are 20k, right? And some of them don't draw, then why would you make one that's 20k free and draws, and double strike? And, you know what I mean? It's like, I see what you're saying. I get... So, my complaint here is about, like, why do they choose to, like, not logically measure power between colors evenly, right? And fairly.
Yeah. And one of the great examples for like this set with a Z leader is this Z leader compared to the Piccolo Junior Z leader in Green KP. I hate that deck because once you Z Awaken, you're not a King Piccolo anymore.
Yeah, a lot of it doesn't make any sense, huh?
Yeah,
requires you to be like King Piccolo. They gave all this thought into Sin Shenron, into Gogeta. Heiloku has a good amount of thought. You know, there's a good amount of thought in a lot of the starter decks, but then for some reason, something like Green KP gets a Z leader that stops working with his own deck with a lot of the cards.
And you can see that they learn a lot from Sin because, again, like I was talking about set 2, all of the Z leaders cost 1. Except the Piccolo, which gets a card that makes it free, but at least then it takes setup. But like, yeah, the Andro 13 costs 1, the Goku cost 1, the
Bardock costs 1. I know it's old. Bardock's old, but I'm just talking about the deck I play. Piccolo costs 2 unless you play the Krillin. So Piccolo costs technically an extra Z energy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Piccolo's is like fair because it takes setup to make it free. So like that's understandable. But like
Oh, is
yeah,
it
all the other
free?
ones cost one.
It's not free. It costs one
Yeah,
with Piccolo.
no, it costs two, and then Krillin reduces it by two, so it becomes free.
Right. So you have to. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I see what. I apologize. Yeah. So yeah. Right. I mean, well, you are playing a blocker, so it's kind of not. I mean, whatever. I feel like I see
I
what
think
it's
Piccolo's is
so
fine. I think Piccolo's a good design.
what I'm taking out of what you're saying, which I agree with your reasoning. I don't like the end product. I don't like banning red. I think that you know how you solve this.
But we never said ban red.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. We're talking about cards that some people want banned. So I'm talking to them specifically right now, right? So here's my response to you. If you want these cards banned or errata or whatever, red players like me are very excited about them, right? It's a new block. How about we bring that same excitement for the other colors? Instead of, like, this should be answered in the reveals going on right now. This should be answered by making a 7 energy, free mana, 20k double strike that plays a beater, green Z leader. You know what I mean? This should be answered by a Rush Attack, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta Z card that's the green or blue or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you answer it, by bringing the same excitement that we're seeing for red.
And I agree,
There's so many new players playing Shenron. There's so many experienced players taking the challenge of Gogeta, because I know a lot of people like think Gogeta's bad or mid. So I like seeing competitive players being like, I can fucking kick your ass with Gogeta. So like, I'd like to see that excitement in green and black right now. And instead, we're thinking about just like banning these cards, and I'm like, well, I mean, sure. So now what? You have a color that's like crippled and banned, and then you have a color that's just not as good. I'd rather spread this positivity, and I know that it seems toxic because when only one thing is positive and the rest aren't, it's like damn near fucking prejudice. But like, I feel like the answer to combat this, because I don't think these are broken tier 0. So this is an easy fix. You make a 2-drop, like, look, you know the green Frieza? That's the Z card. We were talking about this in locals. I think it's 2 energy, 2 Z, right?
No,
I think it could have
2 energy 1 Z. I think it is.
Yeah, it's 2-1.
Is it 2 Z?
It's-
Oh,
no, it's
right. If
2-1.
it's 2-1, thank you. It should be 1-2. It should be 1 mana,
Yeah.
1 mana, and 2 Z energy or whatever.
No,
the fuck.
1-2 would be fine because green isn't such a shithole. Giving them a tap 1 double striker for 2 Z energies, fine.
For
That's
2
the
Z,
thing,
I'm
and
talking
I
for 2
agree
Z
with
energy,
Frank.
but 1 real energy. Or make it
Yeah.
better, because I don't think it's that good. Like, if you compare it to Rush Attack Vegeta, Rush Attack Vegeta is like one of the best cards in the game right now. Like, Rush Attack Vegeta is so insane, especially in Shenron. So like, and I'm okay with green making that Frieza. That's what I meant to say, Frieza. That Frieza, if it becomes a 1-drop, I'm okay with that. Make it 2 Z energy, or make it 3 Z energy, whatever. If you put it in a deck that actually gives you free Z energy. I haven't been watching. I love Joey's channel. I have been watching it lately because I've been at work. But you guys were mentioning earlier that he was talking about green forces you to combo Z. And yeah, if he said that, he's right. I mean, like, besides the green Broly, who uses, you know, the extra cards, usually give him free Z. It's hard for green to do this. And I think these colors should be getting that treatment instead of, I don't know, hitting red. But let's see what's next. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Go ahead, what's
for
up?
Rush Attack, because you already have it pulled up from my understanding.
Yes.
For this card, it's a very simple errata. I think the card's fine. It's actually, in my opinion, perfectly fine in every deck but Sin, because it only requires 4 Z energy for the activate main. So it's just a simple errata of saying require 4 battle cards near Z energy.
Yeah.
I think that would fix the card, because the thing is, in Sin, it's like, oh, 4 Z energy, let me activate 6 balls. Cool. Rush Attack turn 2.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
it's a bit much.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah, and again, like Rush Attack's completely fair the way it is. It's just in Sin it becomes unfair.
Okay. Yeah, I see you.
That's
All right.
it for Rush Attack.
So, what are you guys thinking about Master Roshi Kamehameha Origins? Do you think you should bring that back? Are we talking about cards that should come back?
Yes. That's
back. He
So,
cost
the-
1 in a color that's greedy.
The only thing that I talked to Alex about this, like, where we were talking about like some green cards to give green a boost, because I agree with you, Frank. The problem is that green is so weak compared to everything else that it should be given a boost. I would like this card back because realistically, you're recycling Dorman or Hami clones. That's nice, but it's really good now because of the Broly deck. Because in the Broly deck, this card becomes insane. Because your leader gets extra cards, then you just go combo it off onto your leader, and then you go Roshi pick it back up. So it becomes insane in that deck. But if you want to put green on the level of all the best decks, I feel like you could try experimenting by putting this card at 1 and seeing how it does for green.
Yeah, or 2 of. I feel like 2 of might not be a
But
bad
I-
number
listen,
for something.
this thing to 4. This cost an energy for green. Green is very
Yeah,
greedy.
no,
Yeah.
he's right. Yeah, it costs more. And I agree with you about the 2 of is not bad, but the thing is they've never done it 2 of, so I don't know if
They
they
don't
would.
I don't know why. I mean,
I don't know why.
whatever.
I think if you're gonna have 4 copies of a card in a game, do 3 and 2 ofs. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not
But-
I'm not someone that's like people have a really strong opinion on just ban it or just leave it at 1 or leave it at 2 or 3. I don't have a strong opinion on any of that, honestly, because I don't know. But I'm sure there's a nice limit to some cards depending on how powerful they are. Bringing them to 3, you know. Is
No, yeah,
is
I
Alex
think
trying to?
that's
Oh, I'm
a-
sorry, Alex. I thought you were saying something. But no, I like this
No.
card, especially for Broly.
No, yeah, this card in my
I would
opinion,
love.
is more-
I would love to have this card in the game.
But I
it'd
don't
be
think
fun.
this is an. I like where your head's at, but for green in general, I don't think this is enough. I don't think Dorman is that good anymore. I
No,
don't
no,
think-
100%.
Yeah,
But that's the point. It's not
Yeah.
enough.
Point,
So
Dorman's
why
good.
not give them the card so
Yeah.
they can at least have something?
Dorman
There's actually
is
a
good, by
card.
the way. I'm not saying Dorman's bad. I just don't think it's that good anymore, especially with Gogeta not being a deck anymore. It's like,
I didn't put it on the list because we talked about this later. But I was talking to Alex about Frank. Do you remember Power of Legend?
which one's that?
They're
Yes,
gonna
I do.
block-
What the fuck card is
Yeah,
that?
it's that. Do you think that card could come to 1?
Wait,
Like-
what
like
card
Green
Legends
Legends
again? Remind me, because I
So,
remember that
it's-
card.
it's-
It plays for free.
Okay, so it's the one when your leader's green and your opponent discards a card by your skill. You play it for free. It's a 15k crit.
Oh, Yeah.
And then it warps
100%.
to 4 less.
I
Do you think it
love
come
that
back,
card.
right?
That card should
But do you
have
think it could
never
come
gotten banned. Like, I understand it got banned because of Cell, and well, it was a ban because like Dredgeku started it, right? Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was such a refreshing name. Power. I haven't heard the name in a while. Yeah, no, I like that card. Nowadays, yes. I mean, not back then. I guess not, but
You know, and I agree. That's the whole argument I was having. I'm like, telling Alex, if this card came back to 1, it's just Green's new ruler. And like, in a deck that's so greedy, why not let them have just a nice 15k crit free play? Like, I think Green needs it. And it wouldn't really break the game.
But again, like I know Yu-Gi-Oh is very exciting about bringing cards back, and I get that. But I think like real excitement that really helps the game about building the game is in making new cards good. That starts good hype that makes people buy
yeah,
you know what
I
I mean?
agree.
Like, and I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I'm just saying like for
No, yeah, I
for the
get you.
game to grow, for new people to come in, they have to buy. And you know what? This last set, it was really good at that because these green cards were deceptively very good. like coming into this game, I think the Gotenk starter looked really good. I think the Piccolo looked good to me at first before we played it, and I agree with Alex on how it is now as far as how good it is. But
I think something fun they could do to sell, because I do agree with you, new product is definitely the way to go, is that they could make, like, the new, like, when they bring out band cards, reprints and TPs, maybe collector binders, you know, like how we have Volume 3 coming
Yeah.
out, they could reprint some band cards in there to get people hyped that the card has come back after so long.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
You are correct, in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's super hype when cards come back. I haven't played that much Dragon Ball, and I heard that only 1 card came back, but they could be the Yu-Gi-Oh! Speaking to me, but yeah, I've always found it fun when old cards that were banned come off and they're allowed to have new
Like-
life.
Like Bardock the Progenitor, that card, have been clamoring for that.
yeah,
card
but
to
that's
come
a
back.
yellow card. Yellow's fine. Could it come? Like honestly, like, could it come back? Yeah. That's
Yeah,
like,
I think.
that. You know what that's like? That's like if last year when people were getting stimuluses, it was only for NBA players. I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck is the like? Is a stimulus package fine? Yeah, sure, but don't give it to LeBron James. Like, yellow's
Yeah, I know what
fine.
you mean. One more band card that Green has that I don't know much about, so I wanted your opinion. Is
Yeah.
what? Do you know what Beer's Godly Majesty is?
Oh, wait a minute. That's bad.
Yeah, it's the band card. That's the green card when it's discarded by a battle card. Skill, play it,
Oh,
and then it can
yeah.
warp itself.
Yes, but that's not just for green though. That's for every deck. That's,
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it becomes So you don't think a card like this could come back, or would they
Well,
errata
hold
to say
on,
if you're
hold
leader's
on.
green?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You want to put it? You want me to put a picture for you?
Wait. Beerus only counts with battle cards that are taken out, though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, put it in the chat for
I
you.
don't know. That goes on every color, though. That's not a green card. I mean, that's only green by color, not identity.
That's the thing.
That's a card that you use against green. This isn't a green card. It's a green card, but it's not meant to be used.
Yeah,
in a
that
green
card, that is a red card, my friend. Yeah, that's like, that's something that you use with, oh my god, what were people play? Wasn't it in King Vegeta? I don't know, bro. Oh yeah, it was used with, switching gears. Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Okay. That's what I was asking, because
Yeah, that's fine. It's a good question. If they lock it to green, sure. I mean, I don't know. Like, just give me good green. Like, just make me. I'll design green. I'll fucking do it. Give me the fuck. Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
Bro.
even give us a green deck. Put support for every other green deck and make
no,
it
no.
relevant.
Dude, if they asked me to make 5 green cards to make the deck the color relevant, I could, like 100%.
Yeah. Give me 3. I got you. Like, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
But here, let me see. All right. So next one, you guys want to bring Gogeta Marvelous Smite back for black. Again, that's cool.
Bring it to 1 for GX.
Yeah, dude, this is a quick discussion. We've talked
Yeah.
about this like last time. It's like, yeah, whatever. Let Black have something. The next one is Alex's very base take that I don't agree with. But Alex, you can
Fighting
start
against
it.
Fate?
Okay, so I say bring this back, but give it the permanent where it only has dual attack if your leader's black. Just give black something. Black has nothing.
All right. Yeah, I'm okay with
Black
that.
needs something.
That's one. Yeah. Again, yeah.
Black
Yeah.
needs something, or just print a new overrealm that's just like if your
Yeah.
leader's black, give it dual attack. It doesn't have to be FAF, but give black. Black doesn't have shit.
I mean, unless I'm mistaken, I think that Bandai's original purpose for this card was the Toa, not Toa. What's her name? Kronoa, the Kai girl.
The Supreme Kai deck.
Yeah, the Supreme Kai. You play this with the secret rare, and like, it can swing twice, stay on board, and become a negate. I think I forget what that SCR does, but yeah. I mean, I like this card a lot. I could be wrong. I don't know, but yeah, I like it. That should have never gotten banned. This first of all, but
Honestly,
I think it should've
no,
been banned.
I used to think that, but the more I've played without FAF in the format, it feels so much nicer.
Yeah.
To not sit there and be like, man, my opponent has lethal.
yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the card being gone has really shown how nice of a format it is to not have every deck have a kill option.
Yeah. I agree with that too. That's fine. I don't hate that take. That's fine. That's reasonable. What? You guys want to? If you want the 6-drop Vegeta ban, you're a bitch. Like, I'm telling you right now.
The only reason it's up here is for the leader that's on the side of the screen, because a lot of people complain
Oh, it's this
that
4? Okay.
that leader can play this card while they have a bonus in and a blitz up, draw
Yeah.
4 cards, and then untap 5 at the end.
They better draw 4 cards. They've been bottom decking their hand half the game. Like, this just bring them back to even.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, for decks like SS4 and Beers, it's like, okay, those decks aren't doing anything. Let them have one of the best. If this card was gotten rid of, or they locked it to someone, dude, Beers would be a dead deck without this card.
Right, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
This card should not be touched. It does find it
the only
necessary.
reason it's because people have been crying because SS3 draws too much with this card, but it's like,
Listen,
dude, look at their hand before they play this card. They have like 2 in their hand.
Dude, if I had to take SS3 gun or SS4, I'd take SS3 any day. Like, this card's great. I love it in Beerus. I think that's the most fun part about that card.
Yeah.
He's going to 16 energy.
Alright, what you guys have next?
The next one,
goddammit.
Again, I wish Kavir was here, because this would have been the perfect time to have him
He
on.
would lose his mind right now. No,
You
this
only
card
want to
doesn't
just
need
give me
touch.
a heart attack.
This
No,
card
no.
does not need touch.
Dude,
Yeah.
Ban the bean.
You want to die on a hill about how you think Crown Should Sin is a great card? I will die on the hill for Sensibi.
Yeah, me too. I agree with this as more than Crown as well.
It's definitely my top. It's in my top 5 favorite. It's one of the most fun cards. You can build a whole deck around Bean, and it makes the deck so much fun.
Yeah.
This card should never leave. I hope it's reprint in the collector binder just to piss off everyone that wants it banned.
Yeah, I'm saying I love Bean. I don't know. Also, Bean isn't always great either. Like, there's some meta where it's like
100%.
not that good.
And every deck is also getting their own Bean. Like, I get the untap's the cool part, but like sometimes the 5k power I care about more than the untap.
Point of blue though.
Yeah.
Get the untap.
But the thing is, there's some situations, right? I'd rather actually have I enjoy the 5k more than the untap.
Well, the untap is what made it more broken using it offensively, but whatever. I mean,
it's more. Bean is the most broken when it's not in blue decks, and like I agree with that statement, but it's like let them have fun. I think it makes the other decks more fun by giving them an option like
If you were
Bean.
able to deck build correctly and make your deck not brick and include Bean, go for it.
Yeah, ice 100%. It makes rainbow decks also some of the most fun decks to have a Bean with it.
yeah. All right, let me see.
And then the last one again, it's another like troll take. It's like,
guys
bro,
are fucking
dude,
ridiculous.
there's so many cards, not only in set 1, but set 2, that out unisons now. And it's like, we're still crying about Bunison needing to be banned.
Dude,
It's
my
ridiculous.
favorite
There's so many
was
people that are just like making Bunison. It's too oppressive. Okay, what other unison is there in blue?
yeah, you're a fucking bitch if you want this card banned too. Like, bro, I remember my first time playing against Boo Unison as a Sin player. I was like shocked at how easily it was
fast
dealt with.
yeah, it's the dumbest thing ever. Dude, your A-drop rips 2 markers.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
you
not
rip
even,
one on their turn, you rip one on your
Yeah.
turn. Like, it's ridiculous.
I didn't even have to. I was just like, played it, used Oceanus, swung at Majin Buu, took a marker out. I think like immediately, and then
The
like
activate battle removes a marker. And then you triple
activate,
strike
yeah,
out.
and then I use the other effect on another card because it's triple strike. I'm gonna take 3 anyway, and I'm just like, dude, this thing's dead as fuck. Like,
Yeah, and like if you negate, it's like cool. All right, like swing. Like it's ridiculous. No, Unison got so many answers, and it's still crazy to me that there are people that cry not only that Bean ban, but Unison limiter ban. And I'm like, bro, like it gets answered so easily by every deck now.
Because, like, yeah, if you want to, like, and it's not just red anymore. Like, yellow's best deck, or one of their best decks, maybe.
Yellow.
If you think it's not the best, that's fine. But I think it's really
I'm
good.
almost positive green like next set is gonna get more cards that remove markers, like how
Yeah,
Faded
I mean,
Rival
I don't
removes
know.
like a crap ton.
I don't know. I know it's great. I don't know. I just don't think it's, like, I don't think it's that deep with this card anymore. Yeah.
I think the
This
card.
does not need it. The most balanced part about this card is it doesn't gain markers.
Yeah, no. If it gained
Also-
markers,
yeah.
it would have been a different story.
Also,
If I would have gotten hit.
you
It
gotta-
probably would have gotten hit a long time ago.
you know what it is, too? You also have to remember that it lost value when, like, every Z-leader is, like, 20k and half of them are double strike. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
that's inherent.
there's too many answers to Bunison now, and I just don't get why people are still crying about this card.
And there's been a slow power creep in cards also being 20k, like battle cards, and
Yeah.
being cheaper. So, like, I don't know. I feel like I think Boo was fine half a year ago, so I think it's definitely fine now.
Again, it's another one of those complaints where the people that are crying the most about this card are the people that are playing like tier 95 decks.
Or they
Yeah.
just don't know how to
Because-
sequence into
Because
Bunison.
a deck like Apeku, everything has barrier. I'm just gonna punch it. All my cards have barrier. Go ahead and
Yeah,
punch
Yellow
it,
loves
you
doing
know?
that shit to people. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's just fine. So again, if you guys are watching from home, let us know. Do you like these ban predictions? These are our ideas. These are pretty much the community. We do have some opinions of our own here, but do you guys have any that we missed? Do you guys have any that you want to see? Do you have any cards that want banned? Do you guys have any cards that you don't want banned? Are you playing blue? Are you a little bitch?